Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing an all signs reading for you, tuning into the energies of the day, tuning into whoever is watching, so we can co-create a reading for you where I can translate the divine messages of guidance, support that help you to your personal alignment with the highest and greatest good. So, beautiful intentions. I'm going to be looking at the overall energy of the reading, hidden blessings, what you're leaving behind, how to get the most of this reading and the time of these energies, and what to be mindful of. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. So, the overall energy of this reading. The overall energy is the Three of Pentacles. Coming together, working together around work. The Three of Pentacles are three people with different levels of abilities, their own specialties, their own capabilities and expertise coming together to build something. So it feels like working together. The overall energy of this reading is how can we work together? How can we come together through a lot of confusion, a lot of this way, that way belief. It's either right or wrong. Someone has to be right, someone has to be wrong. I've been picking up on these messages the last couple days around how conflict leads to someone needing to be right and someone needing to be wrong. So a power struggle. It looks like we're leveling up as a consciousness, as a collective consciousness. We're seeing that conflict doesn't have to lead to a winner and a loser. Conflict can create collaboration, people coming together, working together, creating more of a connection, more of a safe place, more understanding, more grace, more compassion for each other, more understanding, more communication, more accommodating for each other and each other's needs. Wow, this is really beautiful. That's gorgeous. I love that. All right. The hidden blessing is the Six of Swords. So I'm getting, not only are you moving to calmer waters, but it looks like you are seeking beliefs that are peaceful, calm, that support everyone, that are peaceful thoughts, peaceful ideas. It doesn't mean that you don't have access to other energies, but it feels like as a whole, the collective wants to find resolution within conflict, and then find repair and expansion for all, not just one. It looks like, wow, a leap of faith. It feels like you are on a quest, on that fool's journey to find peace within relationship, where you don't have to ignore conflict. It feels like in the past you might have ignored and avoided seeing conflict because there was only one way that conflict could be resolved. This and that thinking. So if you brought up any type of conflict, as in discussed with someone, you don't like the way you're being treated, or I want to address this, it feels like someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And the winner isn't really winning, because the person who is losing in the relationship and isn't getting their needs met, aren't having their feelings validated, aren't having their experience validated, resents the person who's won, who needs to win, and it feels like a system that we've tried, and we're seeing that it doesn't lead to the type of expansion that we're interested in these energies. It looks like we're moving on. I'm getting like, as you move in this energy, you have more compassion for those who cannot perceive relationship other than conflict. And instead of villainizing them, just realizing, all right, they might not be exploring this type of relationship. It's just not their jam. They're not capable. They're not able. And it feels like I feel more grace and compassion coming in with regards to people that don't have the same intentions around being in relationship. Not that you have let them walk all over you. It feels like just kind of walking away, being like, I don't think we're a good fit. That feels really beautiful. It feels like a lot of grace and compassion coming in. Not fighting, not continuing this fight for right or wrong. And that is even not trying to persuade anyone, not trying to convince anyone. It feels like you're just leading by example, by integrating this new way of being and operating, and instead of trying to convince everyone, and also just by integrating and you're being the change you want to see in the world. Holy crap. That's the Gandhi quote. It feels like you have really healed a lot. Wow. All right, what you're leaving behind. 6 of Cups. Yeah, you're leaving behind a family pattern, an ancestral pattern of conflict leads to fear and control. Winning. A hierarchy of, someone needs to win. Someone needs to have more power over the other. And it looks like what you're leaving behind is this family dynamic. Wow. This is very powerful. This is very empowering. It feels like what you came here to do, at least one of the things you were interested in. It feels like it's been a long journey. It's been your focus to try to figure this out, figure out relationships. It looks like you're also being very smart about how you decide if someone has this same intention, who also has this integrity, that they're not emulating this. They're not telling you what you want to hear and repeating back these messages, but have they integrated it? It feels like you put a little bit into a person, into a relationship. It feels like you're not listening to what they're telling you as much as seeing if they can, if action, if their action matches their words. So it takes time. Feels like you're willing to wait and decide if someone is on the up and up, but instead of rushing in and deciding what this is, and we're both talking about this and getting ungrounded, it feels like you're staying in reality. You're leaving behind, rushing in, and giving everything into one person, one relationship, and needing that to fulfill you. Feels like you're slowing down. Also feels like that's part of the hooking in is the rush, because people who are emulating what you desire, when they're pretending, when they're masking and just trying to be the best version that you would be attracted to, then they can't hold that very long. So they need to rush this. They need to get you attached in a toxic way, and believing them and sticking with them so they can stop trying, so they can put the mask down, so they can be what they want to be, what they would prefer to show up as, and stop being that version. It looks like you are just seeing how people are without the attachments. You're being very patient and very careful and considering if this is for you, if this person, this relationship is for you, based on behavior, how you feel, not what they say. All right, how to get the most of this energy is the Emperor in reverse. So this is someone really good at manipulation, really good at controlling their environment. This is like a dictator. So in the collective, I'm even seeing real dictators are also being affected by this shift in the collective. They're being called out in mass. Oh, this feels like a lot of protests, acknowledging this energy, that the hierarchy, that we no longer want to have someone have power over us. There's a lot. It feels like there's in the collective, we're really looking at power and control. We're looking at conflict. We're allowing ourselves to feel and have compassion for others. You know what? It looks like those in control have pushed things. This has happened throughout time a lot, where a few create so much control, so much conflict, that it wakes up those who would usually just go along, who would be normal, accepting of injustice. It feels like those who just aren't really interested in the collective can't hide anymore. We're seeing in the collective how the cruelty, the lack of fairness, the lack of justice. It feels like a collective cry that this is not how we would prefer to be. Wow. There's a lot of injustice in our leaders being seen right now, with justice in reverse and the Emperor in reverse. Feels like we're really seeing it. Exposure. Wow. Oh, this feels like grifting. People who have used this manipulation for their financial benefit. Wow. Feels like the more, okay, this is a beautiful message, the more you have been willing to make these changes on an internal level, going in to heal your own heart, to make loving intentions, to for conflict to create more of a connection, more of compassion and grace instead of winning and someone losing. It looks like by changing you, by healing your heart, by focusing on healing you, you are waking up the collective. We're all like waking each other up by healing our own hearts, by remembering our value and worth. Wow, that's I'm getting all verklempt. Just gonna let these feelings come up, like sending so much love, your willingness to love yourself and to seek to know your value and worth. And so I'm seeking peace and love, and those loving intentions that you've held and worked towards is making a difference, is creating a beautiful change in the environment. It definitely has this feeling of a waterfall. A waterfall starts with one drop. And so it must, be difficult being those first drops to trust that enough people will join in and there will be this shift of intentions to create something very powerful coming together. Wow. Very beautiful. I'm seeing how going within, instead of trying to change and control your environment to enact change, it's going through the heart space, doing enough healing that you feel and sense your connection in that heart space with everybody, with all beings, with all sentient beings, and using that connection. It's like a backdoor secret connection, and instead of trying to manipulate the collective, it's sending love to yourself. By sending love to your own heart, by loving yourself enough, it's shifting the collective to something much more loving. Wow. All right, what's supporting you in this energy? The King of Swords. Beautiful. Archangel Michael. A lot of high vibrational energies you can call in at this time. Inviting in Archangel Michael, oftentimes I see his beautiful light is very high vibrational and like white light, maybe with a little bit of ultraviolet in it. And it creates he can create such a beautiful container when you connect with his energy. His energy also helps you cut and sever anything that isn't for you, and also protects your grounding cord. It's a very loving, protective energy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let me move on to what to be mindful of right now is the Page of Wands. This feels like communication coming up, passion, impassioned communication, being mindful of intense emotions that are coming up around this so you can feel, it feels like conflict arising. You feel those emotions that would normally lead to a fight with people in your environment, whoever this is. And it feels like you have intense feelings and an intense storyline about what's happening with this person that's creating this fight feeling in you, the intense emotions of needing to win, feeling conflict, being afraid of conflict. What I'm getting is beautiful. Wow. Inviting in Archangel Michael to create a protection around you and to be in these difficult moments where there's difficult emotions. Holding space for you and another person. It feels like during the conflict, it's hard. You might be in your emotions and in the feelings that are intense, that are coming up. However, it feels like later you can look at what was the story you were telling yourself. Not that this is the way it was, but what was the story that you kept digging into to make your version right? And what was the story of the other person? Can you access that? Can you be like, okay, I was telling a story to myself that this was not safe, that all the responsibility was on me. I'm just using a personal situation and showing you how I'm doing this. So in this personal situation, my story was that someone unknown to the group, to me, created a scenario where if something goes wrong, the onus is on me, the responsibility's on me, that they're not taking care of what's theirs. And so I feel like I need to step in to control the situation because I was feeling out of control. Holy crap, I didn't see that. So the difficult emotions that were arising, I see, made me want to control my environment and shift someone in the environment in fear and control instead of connection. So now I can look at how when I am in a conflict, it is my patterning to try to control the environment because I am feeling dysregulated. Okay, now let's look at the other person's story. This is someone who's just overwhelmed and doing the best they can. They want to let out some energy, and that energy is, loud and explosive, and There's also a lack of knowing how to really communicate. This person's just trying to take care of someone. I wonder if this is bogging down the energy. So, what I'm getting here, what to be mindful of, is how you're perceiving things. That it's a story. It doesn't mean that it's right, but recognizing this is the story I've been telling myself, and there's this beautiful invitation to look at what the other person's story is. And it feels like that's a lot harder because we get instantly kind of sucked into whatever that story is. And I think being mindful, seeing how does conflict lead to fear? I just got into this real fearful place. I didn't even want to address the conflict. It feels like I also have a habit of either trying to control the environment and shift something in the environment, or definitely trying to project, make someone wrong. And then there's also avoiding conflict. Like I'll just try to ignore it. I'll try to, because I don't know how to deal with conflict. And so if I see conflict and if I acknowledge that there is it feels like a lot of this, like trying to avoid looking at conflict, because I know that internally that the only way I know how to, the practiced way of dealing with conflict, is me turning into someone I don't prefer and trying to control the environment. So I'm also seeing that I projected onto others in this scenario an out of controlness, but I was out of control too. So there was a lot of matching energies here. So it feels like, let's wrap this reading up. It feels like what you are learning is to be mindful when conflict comes up and not do your usual, whatever you usually try to do. Work your ego, trying to get to higher ground, trying to win, trying to tell a story, tell your version so you are right. These are all habits I have too that I'm looking at. So very interesting. Feels like there's somatically there's a lot of responsibility that's been put on your neck and shoulder area. This kind of fight, this resentment and anger and blame. Feels like if you have really tight shoulders, chronically, if that's been, then this is also, it feels like somatically learning how to not internalize and hold on to that conflict here as well. So, all right, that's your reading. I hope that's helpful.